Diamore Law Group believes personal injury is about public safety, not just a settlement check. Led by veteran trial attorney Tom Diamore, with over 30 years of experience holding negligent drivers, corporations, and unsafe institutions accountable across Oregon. And clients pay nothing unless they win. If you or someone you love has been seriously injured, call 503-222-6333 or visit diamorelaw.com to schedule a free consultation.
History comes to life in Titanic, the artifact exhibition, opening March 21st at OMSI. This immersive exhibit offers a rare opportunity for audiences of all ages to take a step back in time and take on the role of a passenger on the ship's first and final voyage. With more than 100 authentic artifacts recovered from the wreck site, visitors can explore life aboard the Titanic and the human stories behind one of history's most enduring tragedies. Tickets available at omsi.edu.
This is CityCast Portland. I'm Claudia Meza, and this is what Portland's talking about. Today on CityCast Portland, we're looking into the possible nepotism in our school district amounting to a $61 million contract, what our city auditor has to say about Portland's beleaguered arts tax program, and we're also diving into our mailbag and hearing from you, our listeners. With me are Willamette Week reporter and author Brianna Wheeler and our very own executive producer, John Atariani. Brianna, John, thank you for joining me this morning.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Hello. Before we jump into the news, I always ask an opening question so any new listeners can get to know us all a little better. And today's question is related to the news that last Tuesday, City Council President Jamie Dunphy put a Portland citizen on blast for mailing in a critique of his appearance, notably his tattoos. Here's the quote here from the note: "Please consider wearing long sleeve shirts in public." And then he wrote back, "No, mind your own business and keep your small-minded opinions about other people's bodies to yourself." Then he shared a picture of this exchange side by side on his personal Instagram. And he got a lot of flack once it was discovered the Portlander he flamed was 95 years old. I don't think Jamie knew it, but it did dust up controversy, including a lot of support for calling them out. So to quote Carrie Bradshaw, all of this made me wonder, if you were getting a Portland-centric tattoo tomorrow, what would you two get? Brianna, go.
I already have a Portland-centric tattoo. Hello, I've been about that life.
Okay.
Get into it. Get into me. So you guys know the Weston Rose murals all around town? Mm-hmm. They're beautiful. They're just a part of Portland, right? So there's one on like 14th in the Southwest, and it's called the Tiffany Rose, and it's a rose in like a cut crystal vase, and it's like very iconic and beautiful, and I've been in love with it forever. So I drew my own version, and I drew a rose to put in it, and that's my Portland tattoo. And if any 95-year-old wants to talk to me about that, ooh, my email box is open, baby. Let's go.
What about you, John?
Well, I also not only have a Portland-centric tattoo, I have a CityCast Portland-centric tattoo. As long-term listeners might remember, I got our sort of CityCast Portland tater tot tattooed on me during the inaugural 503 day. Shout out to Stinky Luke, who did the tattoo for me. But if I was going to get another, I think a really banging Portland tattoo would be a Unipiper tattoo. You know? I think that is like good hometown pride, if you know, you know, and it would just look badass.
It really would. Tater Tot, if you didn't know, is our unofficial mascot. We don't know why, it just happened. If I were to get one, it would be a crow.
A crow?
Yeah, because like, Portland, I love that you said that, like question mark, like we're not the city of crows. A crow? Wait, where would you come up with that? What's that? That's so weird. yeah, a freaking crow, Brianna.
Explain.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. Let's move on to the news of the week. Brianna, you looked into some possible nepotism by our Portland superintendent. Lay it on us.
I sure did. Today, I would love to talk about Julia Silverman's reporting for the Oregonian regarding PPS's superintendent, Kimberly Armstrong's daughter, landing a job with the firm that was awarded a $61 million PPS contract. Ew. All right, let's go. The daughter of Kimberly Armstrong is now working as an office manager for Procedo, the Texas-based construction management company that in early December won a $61 million contract to oversee, take a breath, sit down, $1.8 billion worth of projects for the school district over the next 5 years. Okay, still. So, news comes out. Armstrong says, this is an adult daughter. This is not a teenager. This is an adult. She's an aspiring fashion designer. She's an online student. She's studying public relations and communications. I mean, honestly, this stuff is all personal business, but she did apply for the Portland-based position. And she also no longer lives with her mother. And she also does not like to be outed as the superintendent's daughter. Oh my gosh, I wonder why. Right. So Armstrong says on Monday that as soon as she found out about her daughter's new job, that she immediately disclosed it to school board leadership. And Vice Chair Michelle DePass steps right up, confirms that. Says they had a conversation within the last month or two, and then follows that up with Procedo. They've been in the news for not hiring locally. I'm going to say it like that. I hope that's okay.
Is that how you say it? Is it Procedeo or Procedo? Or is
Tell
it
me.
Proced? I don't
Because
know.
I've been in my mind going, Procedo!
Say how you want to say it. I'm just curious. Go on. Sorry. Go on, Brianna.
Let's mix it up. Every time it comes up in this article, I'm going to say it different. So we're on this ride together, you guys.
Let's do it.
Beautiful.
Let's talk about the news. So, baseline, it's not super clear whether or not Armstrong's daughter began working for the company before or after the school board members voted. And it's a slim vote, 5-3, to award the contract to oversee this modernization of 3 different high schools. Not just the high schools, but also the Grace Adair Center, formerly known as the Center for Black Student Excellence, to Procedo. Brian Johnson, the president of said company. Now, he says that he fills positions through a competitive merit-based hiring process, blah, da, 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 da. Also, that it's not company policy to comment on these individual personnel matters. So then we've got Susan Myers, the executive director of the Oregon Government Ethics Commission, popping up to say that this would only be a potential conflict of interest if Armstrong's daughter had been hired before the vote on the contract because state laws prohibited public employees, nepotism, blah, blah, blah. Right. But clock it. In early September, the Oregonian first reported that the district had signed the $150,000 contract in June of 25 with Procedo, that company. So they're asking the firm to come up with quicker, less costly plans to open Jefferson High School before 2029. This project is initially funded by voter-backed bonds, and it's been sent back to the drawing board over and over and over again. Redesign work, value engineering, the costs are spiraling. The initial contract was below the threshold that would have required approval from the full school board and public notice. So since then, the school district extends the contract to examine the options for this long delayed Jefferson project, which we have talked about before. Yeah. And they ultimately they decided they're going to go forward with the firm to not only manage the $466 million Jefferson modernization, but also a number of similar projects of similar scope at both Wells and Cleveland High. Right. So it's controversial, but it's especially controversial among the existing staff at the Office of School Modernization, 10 of whom were let go from their jobs in late January and replaced by staff hired by Procedo, the company.
Gosh, there's so much going on here. I mean, looking at the actual hiring, even if there isn't any ethics violations here, the optics are not great. Especially because it is this outside company, right? I think if the superintendent's daughter had worked in the school district, we'd be feeling differently about this. But because it is this sort of outside contracting company that is getting these extraordinarily giant contracts to kind of shape the future of what these schools are going to look like I think that there also is just this huge component of like people are really wary of this company and the amount of money that's going into it and their ability to get these things done on time. So yeah, I think the sort of outsider nature of them really contributes to just the rough feelings about this hire.
Yeah. I will say that I just find it all a little weird because they're trying to paint it. I mean, the superintendent is like, we had no communication about this. I had no idea. She's her own person. I'm like, so she had no clue about procedeo, or she had no clue you were vetting them. That doesn't like add up. Also, the fact that they're like, she's a fashion designer, she's this, she's that. And I'm like, so now she's an office manager? That sounds like a job you give someone who needs a who doesn't.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? That just sounds like a job you give someone when you're like, just figure it out, please. Just figure it out.
Yes, very that. And it's very much like under a haze of mystery. Armstrong's out here talking about, oh, it's crazy to me that everybody's focused on this. Oh, they're just I'm just trying to do what's best for the kids. I'm just trying to get these buildings built and cool, like totally redirecting the focus. Like, I'm just trying to do what's right. Don't look over there. Look over there. Yeah. Don't look over here. Look over there.
The deflection is like kind of amazing. But I don't know. I mean, it could all be above board. It just, like John was saying, the optics and just the facts of what's being shared, it all just does feel a little weird. Do you know if they're going to investigate or if they're just like done with it?
I think they're kind of done with it.
Wow.
It looks like, well.
But even if they are done with it, is going to increase the scrutiny that we're all going to have on this Jefferson modernization project, which already the idea that they're going to be able to speed that up, like, I don't see that happening in any future Portland public schools.
Oh, man. Well, I have a cousin who might need a job. Superintendent.
They be needing office managers, I guess.
I know. Maybe they need two. I don't know. Let's take a quick break here. And when we come back, the city's eviscerating audit of the city's arts tax program.
Oh.
That's just a pull quote right there. Oh.
Oh. If you're looking for an excuse to visit the Oregon coast, Newport has several new places to stay, and each one is offering something a little bit different, like the Audit Hotel, which makes coastal travel really easy. Just bring the family and the pup, and you can enjoy their pool, sauna, and on-site restaurant. And of course, the beach is just a few steps away. If you're looking for something a little bit quieter, maybe check out Hotel Sylvia. Think oceanfront views and shelves full of books in a setting that feels just like an old eclectic library. And then there's the Louie. It's a boutique hotel that adds a little bit of character to your stay with lo-fi jazz that greets you at the door. And your room comes equipped with your own turntable and record collection. Their private saunas and hot tubs invite real rest. And it's all just steps away from the historic Nye Beach Arts District. Explore these Newport stays and plan your next getaway at discovernewport.com/citycast. We're living in a moment where communicating big ideas is harder than ever. Trust is fragile, real dialogue is difficult, and staying silent, that can be dangerous. That's why the Association of Science Communicators is bringing Science Talk 2026 to Portland's Tiffany Center. This year marks the conference's 10-year anniversary with the theme Wayfinding, Charting a Decade of Dialogue. Science Talk brings together scientists, journalists, educators, and curious members of the public to wrestle with some of the big questions facing science communication today. Stuff like, how do you counter conspiracy theories? How do you rebuild public trust? And how do you tell stories about science in ways that actually reach people? From building bridges with rural communities to high-stakes conversations, this conference is where the field of science communication sharpens its thinking for the decade ahead. You can join in person in Portland or attend online from anywhere. Go to sciencetalk.org to learn more.
As many listeners know, I have complicated feelings about paying taxes, especially in our current political climate, but I'm usually super chill about local taxes. That being said...
I just like choked.
Did you choke on your take? Just choke on air? Okay. I just thought I'd start this off by just gaslighting everyone. But anyhow, that being said, one of the most controversial local taxes over the last few years is the arts tax, which, by the way, I totally voted for. So apologies and or you're welcome. It's recently come under fire by the city itself. Again, the arts tax is a flat rate annual $35 levy on any Portland adult with an income of $1,000 or more and living in a household above the poverty line. So our city auditor, my personal hero, Simone Reddy, published what the Oregonian is calling a damning report on Wednesday, laying out all the ways the arts tax is failing, clearly showing that there is very little oversight and a heavy dose of mismanagement. For example, there's no measure of the quality of arts education offered in classrooms, bookmark that, or any way to ensure there's improved arts access for students and underserved communities. They accidentally gave out more money to schools than it should have, leaving fewer funds available for cash-strapped arts groups. And there's also no way to track how some of these art tax recipients have used program dollars because there's no enforced financial reporting requirements.
Get out.
Yeah. Our city auditor wrote in this report, these conditions increase the risk that arts tax funds are not used as intended. Now, if you don't believe the audit report for some reason, a few weeks ago, OPB's Alex Zielinski found out that the city has been sitting on $9 million in unspent arts tax dollars, even as arts organizations last year reported that they saw their funding from the program drop by nearly 50%. So, even before the audit report came out, hater of the elderly, Portland Council President Jamie Dunphy told the Oregonian, sorry, Jamie, I just had to. Sorry, Jamie. I love you, Jamie. That he plans to pursue a series of proposals intended to reform and reshape the program, saying that it is poorly administered and in desperate need of change. He was also quoted as saying, I still firmly believe that everybody loves art and everybody loves kids and everybody hates the arts tax.
And everybody hates taxes. These are three things that are true about cities across America.
Well, what do you guys think?
I mean, on one hand, it's like, well, tell me something we don't know already.
Seriously.
You know, I feel like we've known that the arts tax, however well-intentioned, has sort of been a boondoggle for years at this point.
Yeah.
And we've just all collectively kind of been grumbling about it for a long time. So having this report that sort of crystallizes exactly what's wrong with it is hopefully going to be the fodder to like make some changes and really move the way that it works, you know? Potentially this is like a good thing because I just don't see how anybody can just sort of sit on it and leave the arts tax in place as is with all of the headlines that have been flying around about it this year.
Yeah, I've talked to a lot of after school educators, people that are doing like supplementary education, and they're not getting funded by art tax. They're coming in like of their own accord to supplement these learning programs, writing their own curriculums. And bringing them to PPS without aid of the arts tax. They're just like doing it because it needs to be done. This audit is getting me together so fucking fiercely. I'm ready to go start fights. I'm ready to like do damage and possibly violence. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe a little bit.
I'm sorry, Brianna. This is
like
this is the second time you've talked about doing violence on the show.
Only second?
Only the second time. But
Only
I just think
second?
I'm just saying, Brianna, it's building. And I'm not here to judge. I'm just here to note that it's building.
I'm actually quite shocked that I've only threatened violence twice. I thought I was saying it every show. I will do violence for Portland. And especially for the arts.
From here on out, the violence is coming. But like, okay, we now have this like very clear documentation line by line of what's wrong with it. And I think that a lot of the proposals that Dunphy is putting out there are really smart. Like some of them are so obvious. make it easier for the city to like actually collect this tax. I feel like part of the problem with it is just the method that they've been doing, where they like kind of send you a letter and then you don't know if you got the letter and then you like have a fine because you didn't get the letter. Like everybody hates that. And he's proposing a way to like actually just have it withheld from your paychecks, you know?
Yeah.
If that was the case, if it was to take $2 off my paycheck a couple times a year to pay for arts, I think we'd all feel so much better about it.
So much better. So much better.
The one like additional proposal that he's putting out there that I think is fascinating is possibly putting an additional tax on streaming services like Netflix and Spotify. So Portlanders would have a like monthly tax on their Netflix account. This is something that Chicago does as well.
Well, that's stupid.
I love it. I love this idea.
Do you really, John?
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, because it is a way to like get people who care about culture to like pay consistently for what goes on in the city. I think it's brilliant.
People who are watching Love is Blind?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
caring about the art. Okay, whatever.
Oh man, we're gonna.
I love it.
Oh my God. You know what, John? Don't you dare. I feel like you're like inciting me right now. And we have to wrap up and it's just not fair. It's not fair. Oh, I love it. All right. In response to this audit, I just want to shout out that City Administrator Raymond Lee, who was on the show, by the way, said he would work to implement nearly all of the suggestions, but disagreed that some reforms should be made through city code changes, because I think that was the suggestion. And basically said these appear to be administrative rule changes and would better suit the intended outcome. Meaning, maybe let's not make more policy work and have the city council ping pong it for months and months and months. And we just take care of it at the top because this is a management issue. And I gotta agree. I have to agree. We perhaps just get it done, you know?
Word.
But let's take a quick break here. And when we come back, John, lover of paying more for subscription services, is gonna dive into our mailbag. Okay, John, who's writing in? What's going on?
Oh, I have a bag of mail for you. We've gotten a ton of mail over the course of the last week, so my apologies to everybody who didn't make it into this batch, but thank you so much for writing in, everybody. First off, I want to take a look back to the interview I did a few weeks ago with Julia Silverman, talking about the state of Portland Public Schools as it looked back then. Here's a clip of what Julia had to say at that point.
And the other thing that they've cited is that there have been services added back without offset cuts, which is finance director speak for, hey, we paid for some stuff and didn't make cuts elsewhere. So like in your household budget, if you DoorDash 3 nights in a row, you got to eat oatmeal for the next 3 nights. But nobody's been eating much oatmeal at Portland Public Schools.
The DoorDash metaphor. So Wendy, who works with PPS, wrote in and took issue, said, I listened to your episode about PPS funding woes last week. I understood the use of Julia's DoorDash analogy, but as a 3rd grade teacher in a North Portland school, my working conditions are far from the excess that a lot of DoorDashing, quote unquote, implies. At the student-teacher level of education, a more apt analogy might be, we've been home cooking for a while, but now we're down to rice and beans. It hurt that the analogy painted a picture of excess when we're fighting for enough special education teachers and paraeducators for our special needs students. Yep. So yeah, word, Wendy, absolutely no shade on the hardworking parents and students and especially like day-to-day staff of PPS. It's hard out there. I think we're talking more at like a higher district level, but like 100% heard that like, yeah, the teachers are working really, really hard.
Yeah.
Also, on last week's episode, we talked about our favorite local restaurant chains. Julia shouted out Del Taco. Here's what Jacob had to say about that. Like Julia, I am also a big fan of Del Taco, but I'm baffled by their Portland location availability. As Julia noted, there is one in the far west in Hillsborough. There's also one to the far east in Gresham, one to the far north in Vancouver, south in Salem. Then for the entire central metro area, there are none. Del Taco Gap in central Portland. I had not considered this. What do you guys think?
Oh my God.
Del Taco Gap. We have a Del Taco Gap. Oh man.
Jamie Dunphy, fix this.
That's my platform.
I was just so surprised that Julia was like, Julia Fiaioni, our senior producer, by the way, brought up Del Taco, because to me that is like so California. That is the most California. So California. And I feel like it's a guilty pleasure of Californians who move here and they're just like, where's Del Taco? Which is, by the way, just the stepsister of Taco Bell is what I will say.
Older cousin, slightly more mature. Barely.
Stepsister, older cousin, third aunt of Taco Bell.
Yeah. That's Taco Bell's tia.
Yeah.
In that same segment, I took the plunge and shouted out Taco John's and actually got a hell yeah from Cassie O, who wrote in, also celebrating Taco John's and telling me that there is a Taco John's in the Pacific Northwest. Cassie wrote, I'll go to shows at the Gorge Amphitheater just to eat at the Taco John's in Moses Lake, which is in Washington. So Taco John's heads, it's out there. I did not know about this. Next time I'm in Central Washington, I'm going to have to check it out.
I've never even heard of Taco John's before you mentioned it.
I've never heard of Taco John's. It sounds offensive to me. Who's John? Why is he making tacos?
John's right here.
John.
This is John.
Oh my God, John, you plug in? Oh, come on now. This seems like a conflict of interest.
This is not nepotism. This is not like the Johns getting together.
Bringing it back. Bringing it right back.
I know. Wow, John. Okay. I want another letter.
All right. Well, we got one more on that episode. I also shouted out the Sugar Pine Drive-In, and Arisa wrote in, calling me out for saying that it was in Outer Portland. They said Troutdale is not Outer Portland. In fact, it doesn't even touch a Portland boundary. Please use the towns of Outer East County line. You do the neighborhood names of Portland. Troutdale and Sugar Pine are very much in Clackamas County. Which, heard. I apologize to the folks of Clackamas County for conflating the two.
God damn you, John.
They'll come for you.
The larger point that I was making was that, I love Sugar Pine and wish there was one closer in. So
yeah, closer into
Same.
actual Portland, for sure. It's so funny because as a Portlander, I do consider anywhere I'm at part of Portland. Like if I'm on the coast, just like when people visit, I'm just like, come to our coast. I'm definitely not Portland's coast, but that's how I feel. Like the mountain, I'm like, come to my mountain, so I can see people in Clackamas or anywhere, just being like, y'all are not from here.
Ooh,
Get out.
Flagrant. We are flagrant with it.
Well, we did also get some messages about our Late Night Eats episode, which came out on Monday. And we had an addition from Adam. I'm listening to the Late Night Eats episode and would be remiss not to email y'all. You missed Hachi downtown in the West End. Adam, very fired up about Hachi. Do you guys know this place?
No. Never heard of it.
Yeah.
Adam, does this place exist? Let's look. I'm like fact checking Adam. He sweetly wrote in. I'm like, Hachi, never heard of her. No, it exists. I guess he was right, guys. But now you know why we missed it. We've never been.
Adam goes on to say, I think you're really going to like it. The energy is spot on. So yeah, Claudia, next time you're downtown, hard recommendation for Hachi. You got to check it out.
Cool.
It's on Southwest
good.
12th is what our producer Julia is telling us.
All right, I'm looking at pictures and it looks pretty good. So yeah, maybe.
Tell me what pictures of what? What is Hachi? Is it hot Cheetos on corn? What is it?
Yes, it is exactly.
Gotcha,
it's an izakaya style. So you got the meats with the skewers. It stays open till 2 a.m. on Fridays and Saturdays, which is hard to find in the city. So,
Downtown late night sushi? I mean, come on.
Yeah. Sweet. Thanks for the heads up, Adam.
And then I've got one more from LD who wrote in about that same episode with a correction on a mention that we made about Alberta Street Pub being the only Black-owned music venue in Portland right now. Barn Radio is a Black-owned electronic music venue in downtown that has been killing it for a few years now, bringing hundreds of underground artists from around the world to the Pacific Northwest. It's an incredible, unique, important spot, and they're doing a fundraiser to improve their space right now. You can check out more at barnradio.live. Also new to me. Do you guys know about Barn Radio?
Oh, I feel like I've let the city down by not knowing about Barn Radio.
Yeah, so
that's
put
cool.
it on the list.
I'm loving
Hachi and Barn Radio. We've planned our next night out, you guys.
Look at us learning.
Yeah, I love that downtown is getting more venues. I love it. That makes me really, really happy.
Oh, I have a plug. I have one more plug.
Oh, wait, Brianna has a plug. Brianna was a plug.
Brianna will be telling stories at White Eagle on Friday. at 9 p.m. for the Pants on Fire storytelling show. Come see me. I am
Awesome.
just as chaotic live. Maybe more chaotic live. No violence, though. No violence. No violence.
She can't promise that. Let's be honest.
I can't. I can't.
Well, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out. That's all for today here on CityCast Portland. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed the show, share it with a friend, rate or leave us a review. And don't forget, you can support the show and get great perks by becoming a CityCast Portland neighbor. You just visit membership.citycast.fm for all the details. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more from around the city. Until then, see you at Slim's or Hachi.
Yeah.
Hachi!
Bye, you guys.
Bye.
Bye.